What's going on, everyone? Welcome back. FantasyTeamAdvisors.com, bringing home the bacon, MLB DFS video. It is Friday, June 2nd, and we are back bringing you, hopefully, a good breakdown on the slate. So before we start, this is the first video in a couple of weeks that we did not hit at least 50 likes before the start of the main slate. We had, as the making of this video, we have 47 likes, so we're back on it. If you don't know what we do here, we go through and we break down every single pitcher on the slate. We look at possibly the bats that we like against them, and we try to give you some information that maybe you didn't hear about, maybe you haven't heard about. Try to learn you something, because that's what we're here for. Any video that gets at least 50 likes, anyone who likes the video and leaves a comment, also a subscriber, we'll put your name in a random.org and we'll randomize it 3 times, and you'll win a free MLB DFS week brought to you by FantasyTeamAdvisors.com. Any video that gets 100 likes, we'll do the exact same thing. If you have a comment, we'll put your username in the randomizer, and then you will win a free month. And if we get 200 likes on a video, we'll do the same thing, but you win a free MLB Pass. So, that being said, you can go to FantasyTeamAdvisors.com, check out all we have to offer right here. You can sign up. FTA Plus is $10 a month until the All-Star break. Once the All-Star, in about 6 weeks left of $10 a month, and then it'll change to $25. The $25 is because NFL content will start rolling out, so we're super excited. We are less than 100 days until the NFL season, and we've got a lot of information that we want to bring you each and every week for NFL, but you guys are here for MLB, so let's get started. So if you find this video helpful, useful, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, share these videos. Let's get this out here. Let's make this. I'm trying to build the anticipation for NFL. I cannot wait. So the first game on the slate, and it's an early one. It's a 4:10 Central game. For whatever reason, you've got like 2 early games that aren't going to be on like the main slate. But looking at this, you got Corbin Burnes versus Brandon Williamson in Great American Small Park. If you've seen it before in the in our ballpark ratings, you know that this ballpark gives up a ton of runs, gives up a ton of home runs. It's a little scary to me, but I do like Corbin Burnes. Against Brandon Williamson, Burnes, 56 plate appearances, a 140 batting average, striking out 33.9% of those batters. Flip side of that, Brandon Williamson has never faced any of them before. Now, that being said, if you've been here before, you know that I'm kind of a fan of taking a chance on a pitcher that's never faced the other team before. Now, whether or not that is something you are interested in, whether or not that is something that you have tried, let me know if you've done that and how often you've had success with that, whether that's our advice, whether that is just something you've done on your own. Let me know how that's gone. Just looking at Williamson, he's faced the Cubs, the Cardinals, and the Rockies. 4.1 innings there. His ERA is not good. Probably won't have any exposure to Williamson. I'll have some exposure to Burnes. His ERA is a little bit higher than what we would have expected. You know, he's pitched like a stud the past few seasons. This season's been a rough spot for him, but we will take our chances here. I don't know if I trust Corbin Burnes in cash. I would look at GPPs. If you're not going with him, on the flip side, the players for Cincinnati, Kevin Newman's 3 for 21, so that's a 143. 1 for 8, 1 for 5. Nick Senzel's 1 for 2 with a double. Other than that, Stuart Fairchild has a double. No one else has done anything. So probably avoiding the bats in this one. Once the MLB, the batter trends come out for both of these teams, that'll give us a little bit more clearer picture of what to expect. And you can find that here, MLB down here, DraftKings or Fanduel, whichever one you're doing. You can find the batter trends there. Real quick, if anyone does graphics, I am in need of a person for graphics. I can either pay or we can give you access to monthly or the season pass. I'm in need of some graphics for MLB and NFL. So if there's anyone out there, any artists out there, let me know. If you are one and want to get access to the site, we can do that, or we can pay you. It just depends. I am looking for a graphic artist here. I need some MLB graphics and some NFL graphics to go. So that being said, we're going to go to the next game. We're going to Athletics at the Marlins. Hogan Harris versus Edward Cabrera. Harris never faced anyone before. I'm not going to lie to you. I've never heard of his name before. It's probably because I'm not a... So apparently he... Okay, so he's a bullpen arm. Made a start May 27th against Houston. Somehow went 5 innings, didn't give up a run. Had a .4 whip and a 9 K per 9. I wouldn't trust him. I would look at the Marlins bats here against the lefty. I would look at such as Luis Ariz. Seems like he's always on base. You've got Brian De La Cruz. I really like Jorge Soler. I do like. But I don't like the Athletics. I think everyone knows this. Yes, they had a couple of good games this past week. I don't trust them there. I'd rather take the Marlins bats, and I would look at Edward Cabrera. 17 plate appearances, 17.6 K percentage, .071. I'll take some Cabrera and Marlins bats, but there are just other options out there for pitching and bats, but that's what I would do in this game. Next game, Cardinals at the Pirates. You got Jack Flaherty versus Roansy Contreras. Flaherty, 64 plate appearances, a .236 batting average, 18.8 K percentage. I don't mind him. He's still not in my best of graces, and I say that because we've used him in the past, and he has burned us in the past. Coming off a good start against Cleveland. Against the Dodgers, 5.79 ERA, 4.2 innings. But he overall... It's been against the Angels, he had a 38.57 ERA. He comes in this season, 3 wins, 4.81 ERA, 9 K per 9. I will take a chance on him in tournaments, especially against Pittsburgh, in Pittsburgh. And then I would look at some of the Cardinals bats. Contreras, 69 plate appearances, 281 batting average. I'm not looking at him at all. I would look at the bats. So let's look at the bats that have had success. Goldie, 3 for 8 with 2 doubles, be a good first base spot or utility. Arenado is your third baseman, 2 for 10, 1 double. Brendan Donovan, infielder, 4 for 10 with 2 doubles. Alec Burleson, 2 for 7 with 2 doubles there. So, there's been extra base hits here. Nolan Gorman, 2 for 4 as well. Not really many strikeouts, only 4 total strikeouts, no home runs, no triples, 7 doubles. So that's kind of what I would look at. In this game, I'd be looking at stacking the Cardinals, and I'd be looking at Flaherty for tournament options. Phillies at the Nats is next. You got Zach Wheeler versus Josiah Gray. Wheeler, 83 plate appearances, a 190 batting average, 25.3 K percentage. And then on the flip side of that, Josiah Gray, 52 plate appearances, 313 batting average, 25% there. If I'm taking one, I'm taking Wheeler in this one, and then stacking the Phillies. So looking at the Phillies bats that have had success against Gray, just looking at it, and it would really depend on... So you could take the BVP here, which we have on the website as well, and then you could take the batter trends to see which ones have done well lately. But Schwarber, 4 for 10 with a double and 2 home runs, absolutely. Real Muto, 3 for 9 with a triple and a home run. Castellanos, 2 for 8 with a home run. Trey Turner, 3 for 5 with a double and a home run. Bryce Harper, 2 for 5 with a home run. Brandon Marsh, 1 for 4 with a home run. So you see, there's a lot of home runs in this one. 7 home runs against him in 56 plate appearances. I am stacking the Phillies here. Just depends on, what site you're on. Fanduel, you do 4. DraftKings, you do 5. So Schwarber, Real Muto, Castellanos, Turner, Harper would be 5. And then you can mix and match too. Just depends on when the lineups come out, who's out there, which all of those should be in there, I believe. I don't think anyone's hurt. So that's kind of where I would be at in this game. I would definitely stay away from Gray as a pitcher. I would look at Wheeler for tournaments. I would look at the Phillies as a stack. Rays at the Red Sox. Currently, this is my problem. Tyler Glasnow making his, I believe, second start off the IL. Let me check. Yeah, this will be his second start. Faced the Dodgers, which is a pretty good lineup there. 4.1 innings, had a 16.62 K per 9, but did give up some runs, had a 6.23 ERA. He should fare better here, but the problem is, as you've seen in the past, Fenway has given up a ton of runs. That is the only thing. Glasnow should be a good SP2 on DraftKings. I don't mind him against the Red Sox offense. I am a little bit weary of the ballpark because it's given up so many runs this year. So we're kind of waiting on the other hand. Most likely, I would look at Tampa Bay bats against whichever pitcher comes out. We still got to wait for that pitcher. So that's where I'm at on that one. Moving to the next game, the Blue Jays at the Mets. You've got Chris Bassett versus Justin Verlander. Bassett facing his former team from last year versus Verlander, who is coming off a so-so start when was that game? May 27th. 5 innings in Colorado, which is very, he gave up 6 runs on 9 hits on Saturday. Only pitched 5 innings. I think people are going to see this and be like, oh, okay. I would bounce back a little bit just because that was in Coors, and that is always a factor when you are building lineups or using pitchers in Coors. You've got to take the Coors effect. So Bassett's numbers against the Mets, 35 plate appearances, 233 batting average, 17.1 K percentage. Flip side of that, Verlander, 104 plate appearances, 158 batting average, striking out 34.6% of those batters. If we get vintage Kershaw. If we get vintage Verlander here, then we could be in store for a good one, because I think a lot of casual players are going to see that he gave up X amount of runs. He had an ERA of this. His fantasy point outage was this, and they're going to go away from it. But you guys are here because you are better DFS players than most of those. And that is where we're at. So I am looking at both of these pitchers, but I think both are more just tournament options because I can't trust Verlander yet. But if he can hold his own to these numbers, that'll be pretty good. But looking at that, it is Toronto. Toronto puts up a ton of runs. We know this. They're a good team when they're hitting. Bo Bichette's batting like 900 this year. Seems like he's hitting a home run every time I get a notification on my phone because this is my season-long league. Both of these teams on paper should be able to hit. Whether or not those teams show up, that's another story. So that is why I'm using both of these pitchers as just tournaments. But if you want to dig in and look at what bats in this, let's take a look real quick. So, not very many have seen him. Dan Vogelbach, 2 for 6 with a home run. Don't know if he'll even be starting. Starling Marte, 0 for 5. Lindor's 3 for 9 with a home run. Eduardo Escobar, 2 for 9 with 2 doubles. And then Tommy Pham hasn't seen him. But as we know, Pete Alonso's on fire, so he would definitely be one I would use as well. And the flip side of that, Toronto bats that have had success against Verlander in his career. Whit Merrifield, 5 for 24, a double. Matt Chapman, 1 for 20 with that one hits a home run. Okay, he had a home run on Thursday, so use that as you will. Kevin Kiermaier, 1 for 15. George Springer, 5 for 13 with a home run there. Other than that, not much going on. So I think both are tournament options, and I don't think I'm fully going to stack either of these teams, but there might be bats that jump out. Next game, the Mariners at the Rangers. You got Luis Castillo versus John Gray. Castillo, 46 plate appearances, a 302 batting average against him. He does have 30.4 K percentage, but the Texas Rangers are hitting very well this year, and they're at home. Probably going to be taking Texas in this one. John Gray, on the other hand, 129 plate appearances, 283. Now, if Clark Schmidt could hold the Mariners on Wednesday night to no runs, and the Mariners not scoring at home until the 10th inning, John Gray should be able to do the same. So if I'm taking a pitcher, I'm probably taking John Gray. I'm not saying I'm going to, but if I were to take one, it would be Gray. And then let's just look at the bats that have had success against him. A.J. Pollock, 10 for 28 with 6 doubles. Suarez, 6 for 22 with 3 home runs. Ty France has a home run. Julio has a home run, the only hit he has. Jared Kelenic only has 2 hits. Both of those are home runs. I don't mind those, but he's whiffing 30% of those batters with a 27.1 K rate. So I'm probably going to take John Gray here. I don't trust Castillo against this Texas lineup. If I'm taking Texas, probably taking Corey Seager, probably taking Jung. Let's see. Seager 2 for 5. Nate Lowe 1 for 3 with a double. I don't mind him. Grossman 2 for 7. Adolis is 1 for 3. Simeon is 1 for 3. So yeah, I would be looking at building around some Texas bats here. Looking at Adolis, Jung, Simeon, Corey Seager. I think Corey Seager is probably my anchor. Probably goes deep. I won't be surprised if Corey Seager goes deep in this one. Next game, the Angels at the Astros is next. You got Shohei versus to be announced. I'll take Shohei here. 149 plate appearances, 32.9 K percentage, 226 batting average. Give me all the Shohei against the Astros. This brings me to a point. I was having an argument, not an argument, but a heated discussion or whatever. Shohei Ohtani. Do you believe he should win MVP regardless of how he does each year if he stays healthy on the basis that he pitches and hits? So let's say he doesn't win a game pitching, has a 4 ERA, hitting has, 30 home runs, bats 250. Just because he can do both, do you guys believe that he should be MVP no matter what? I would love to hear that. That is a question that I want to pose to you. Let me know your thoughts down below, because that was basically the answer I was given as to Ohtani. If Ohtani's healthy, he should be MVP every single year is what I was told. Let me know your thoughts. Next game, the Rockies at the Royals. You got Chase Anderson versus Jordan Lyles. So Chase Anderson got pushed back for whatever reason. I was trying to see this earlier. I don't know why he got pushed back. Like in yesterday's video, like I said, I loved him to get to get lit up by Arizona. I'm trying to see what news came out. Maybe the reports yesterday were just early and he wasn't supposed to start. So, getting a start here in Kansas City. This is my problem now. You've been with me before. You've been here. You know that if there's a pitcher against Kansas City, facing Kansas City, in Kansas City, that we are ones that like to do that. But this is my problem. It's Chase Anderson. I don't trust this. I don't trust Chase Anderson as far as I can throw him. Looking at that, I really don't know. This one is where maybe take a flyer on him just because he is going up against Kansas City. But at the same time, do you really want to do that? Is that really where you want to go with this one? And then Jordan Lyles, on the other hand, I'm not taking him. 63 plate appearances against Colorado, 345 batting average. Now, I don't know if that is I really don't know. I don't know if that's in Coors or if that's just overall. So just looking at that, though, I would rather take some Colorado bats. Now, we'll look. It's probably Blackmon. We can see. Blackmon's 3 for 15 with a double. McMahon's been on fire lately, 1 for 8 with a home run. Mike Moustakas is 3 for 10 with a double and a home run. Grichuk didn't start on Thursday, 4 for 5 with a home run. Chris Bryant was put on the IL pretty, right around noon or right after the main lineups locked on Thursday. So it will really just depend on the lineup that comes out. Elias Diaz is 1 for 7. Profar, 4 for 7 with a double. So I don't mind some of these. I don't mind a Blackmon, McMahon, Profar, maybe Moustakas against Jordan Lyles. I won't have any exposure to either of these pitchers, though. If it isn't Chase Anderson, I still won't have exposure. I don't trust anyone on this pitching staff against any team right now. So probably not taking I won't be stacking either of these teams, but some of the bats that for Colorado I don't mind. Next game, Guardians at the Twins. You got Aaron Savale versus Bailey Ober. Savale, 104 plate appearances, 258 batting average, a 24% K percentage. And then Bailey Ober here, 54 plate appearances, a 157 batting average, 20.4. I honestly don't mind either of these pitchers. I think both are probably tournament options. I don't trust them enough in cash. Ober, he's been there. He's getting some strikeouts. Let's just look, if you aren't taking those pitchers, let's look at the bats. Polanco, 3 for 15 with a double and a home run. Kepler, 6 for 17 with 2 doubles. Byron Buxton, 3 for 13 with 2 home runs. Gallo, 2 for 5 with a double. Gallo will be and always will forever be a tournament-only option because he's terrible. Alex Kirilloff, 3 for 5 with a double. And then you just got 1 for 2, 1 for 2, 1 for 3. No extra base hits there. So looking at that, I probably will have exposure to both of these pitchers, but I also have some of the bats. So this isn't one where I'm like, you need to take this pitcher, you need to stack these. I will have exposure. We've got to wait for the lineups to come out. We've got to wait for the batter trends to come out, though. But overall, I think I like Bailey Ober just a little bit more than Savale. But again, both only tournament options. Tigers at the White Sox. Reese Olson versus to be announced. I most likely wouldn't take the, depending, I guess, who the White Sox throw out there, because it is Detroit, but we're kind of just sitting here, kind of looking about Reese Olson. He's going to be making his Major League debut. But the problem is, in AAA, he has a 6.38 ERA. He has looked a little bit better in his last 6 starts, but a 6 ERA is not good. So I would be, just depending, I would be looking at some White Sox bats here. Now, that means Reese Olson probably goes out and throws a no-hitter, but those numbers in AAA aren't good, and that's AAA hitting. I would be looking at the White Sox, depending on who it is, depending on the way the lineup comes out. I'm probably looking at Tim Anderson, Lou Bob, which is Luis Robert Jr., Eloy, if he's not hurt yet again, Gavin Sheets, Andrew Vaughn. It will really depend on the lineup that comes out, and the lefties. Benintendi's not looked the best, but we could take Benintendi against Reese Olson being a lefty against a righty there. So that's kind of my thought on here. I probably won't be using Olson at all. I know, like I said, players that have never faced one before, but when you have almost a 7 ERA in AAA, I'm stacking against you. Cubs at the Padres is next. Jameson Taillon versus Michael Wacha. Taillon, 76 plate appearances, 22.4 K percentage, 205 batting average. I don't trust him, especially against the Padres, who put up 10-plus runs against Jesus Lizard on Thursday. The problem is Taillon has looked terrible this year. Comes in with, hasn't won a game, has an 8 ERA, and he has started almost every game. He's gotten lit up. He got lit up by the Reds, 4 2/3 innings, gave up 4 runs. So, yeah, I'm looking at stacking the Padres here. I don't care about the numbers. I'd be looking at stacking the Padres. I'd be looking at stacking Juan Soto. Just depending. Let's see if anyone's actually had success against him, and then we can build from there. Carp, 7 for 24 with 2 doubles and a home run if he starts. Bogey, 5 for 23 with 3 doubles. Rugi, 1 for 10. You've got Gary Sanchez, 1 for 4 with a home run. Gary Sanchez hit a home run on Thursday. A very cheap option if he's even in there. I don't know if he will be. So I would look at probably, if Matt Carpenter's in, I'll take a flyer on him. I'll take a flyer on Juan Soto. I really like Jake Cronenworth there. I like Kim here as well. So, yeah, I will definitely be stacking Padres against Taillon. And then Michael Wacha, 82 plate appearances, 214. Obviously, well, I wanted to say he's seen the Cubs a ton, being with the Cardinals for so long, being in the same division. But the Cubs really just don't have players that they did back then. So I'm probably more inclined to take Michael Wacha in tournaments and then stacking the Padres against Jameson Taillon. Next game, you got Braves at the Diamondbacks. You got Charlie Morton versus Merrill Kelly. Morton's 58 plate appearances, 236 batting average. Kelly, 63 plate appearances, 175. Honestly, don't mind either of these. I think both are SP2s. They're not SP1s for DraftKings. Probably leaning more towards only tournament options because both of these teams have been hitting this season. The Braves, they've got power hitters. We know that. Flip side of that, Diamondbacks, they have power hitters in Christian Walker, and then they've got those hitters, Ketel Marte, Corbin Carroll. When they get on, they can steal bases. You got Josh Rojas there as well. So there's a lot of good options in this one. If I'm taking a pitcher, it would be in tournament, but I'd probably lean more towards looking at the bats in this game over the pitching. Then we got the Yankees at the Dodgers. You got Severino versus Clayton Kershaw. 70 plate appearances, 328 batting average, 20% strikeout rate. And then Kershaw, 139 plate appearances, 298 batting average. So this is the thing. So Kershaw's been good. He's had a couple of iffy outings. He's faced a ton of these batters, which seems kind of odd because it's, Dodgers and the Yankees, but a lot of these players. I do know Donaldson is back in this game. Stanton is back in this game. Judge has been on fire. I think we're going to be seeing it could be a show. I do like Severino, though, here over Kershaw. But looking at this, DJ's 18 for 64, 5 doubles and a home run. All of those numbers coming from being his time with Colorado. Now, this is where we kind of have to pay attention because with Donaldson back, I guess DJ would have to be the DH, or Donaldson would be the DH, and DJ would play third. So we got to make sure DJ's in there. Rizzo hasn't played since, was that Sunday when he got hit in the head? Saturday or Sunday with whatever problem it is. If he is there, I'm even against Kershaw, 10 for 31, 3 doubles, 3 home runs. 6 of his 10 hits are extra base hits. 3 of them are home runs. I do like that. Stanton, 5 for 18 with 2 doubles and 2 home runs. He does start off slow after coming off the IL, so that is definitely something to pay attention to. Donaldson coming off the IL, I really don't know if he's going to be slow off the IL. That's something to kind of pay attention to. Glaber's been on fire as long as he's leading off. I like him there. Judge has just been on fire. 1 for 3, 1 home run against him. I like that. So definitely be looking at a Yankee stack. Hopefully we see the Yankees team that just put up 10 runs in 3 straight games and not the team that's coming off a 1-0 loss in extra innings. So that's kind of where I'm looking at in this game here. And then the flip side, the Dodgers bats against 70 plate appearances, 328. Let's see. Mookie, 9 for 32, 4 doubles. Him and JD are the 2 big ones because they've seen him with Boston. 8 for 20, 2 doubles. So Jason Hayward, 2 for 2 with a double and a home run. Miguel Rojas, 1 for 3 with a home run. So the numbers look a little odd because they make up 60 of the 70 plate appearances. So 60 of the 70 plate appearances are these 2 guys. So if he can stay out of it, I really do like it. And they've struck out 14 times. So he's had success. He's coming off pretty good outings since coming off the IL. So I would take Sevy in this one, and I would look at the Yankees against Kershaw. And then the final game, the Orioles at the Giants. You got Dean Kramer versus Logan Webb. Kramer, only 5 plate appearances. Obviously, they don't see him a lot, which I kind of like that because it is in San Francisco. It's a pitcher's park. I'll take a flyer on Dean Kramer for tournaments. And then Logan Webb, on the other hand, 7 plate appearances, 429. I think he makes a good option for tournament. I don't trust either of these guys for cash. And no bats really stick out to me right now. Batter trends will come out, then we can see. But if I'm taking a team bats, I'm probably taking the Orioles bats over the Giants. But I will have some exposure to both of these pitchers. So there you go. Thank you guys for checking this video out. If you're still here, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and the website, FantasyTeamAdvisors.com. You can sign up now for the next 6 weeks. It's $10 a month. After that, it will go up to $25 a month for everybody. So that'll start the kicking off of the NFL season, which we are very excited about. We see these tabs now, but I've been taking notes. I've asked you guys what you look for in NFL. We'll be updating this. So each week with the NFL season, we do rankings, and we do the positional rankings it's usually Tuesday or Wednesday. We get that out there. We have the cheat sheet. We have the Vegas odds. We have the bets. We have everything. So I'm very excited what we have to offer. Go check out everything with MLB, BVP matchups, stolen bases, contrarians or / leverage stacks, our cheat sheet, our prop bets, the betting odds, the ballpark rankings, the umpire factors is new, which people have been liking, the optimal stacks, which you can see what that is, and then the batter trend. So good luck to everyone on this Friday. Let's get it going. Let's have a fantastic Friday, and we'll be back Saturday, hopefully helping you bring home that bacon. Peace.